Okay. Greetings. Welcome back. Thank you guys for stopping by. A couple more things to talk about. Let me make sure I'm not muted again. Or we're good. A couple things I wanted to talk about. A little bit about Lina. We're going to watch two video clips that were posted earlier today. Talk a little bit about the search. And then really another story from somebody out in Connecticut. Make sure I'm not muted. Good. Another Connecticut story. This is recent. A woman that met somebody on Bumble. It is not, and they're now dead. And it's kind of, there's a lot of missing pieces to the story, but we're going to touch on what's out publicly. And then another story that was shared on Discord by somebody. Mickey sent the story, and it's about this woman that apparently, I don't know, it might be too graphic to start the video off like that, but it's kind of crazy. And the woman reported her daughter missing, but she kind of sold off her daughter to some guy she used to date. Horrible story. So we're going to get into that. Let's start off with this here. So on today, for people that have been following the Lina thing, she went missing. I think it was the 20th, right? That was the 20th I don't remember. I think it was the 20th. Should be in this article. Yeah, Monday the 20th. Okay, so it started at $10,000. It's now at $150,000 combined. I think with assistance from the community. I think the church or the mosque. And so you guys know she was last seen Monday, December 20th. The police are looking into this 18-minute window that they're investigating from 4:49 p.m. to 5:07 p.m. And they have search teams out there, volunteer groups, and they were going through the woods. Let me see what it says here before we watch the video. And the family gave up some clothing from Lina, I guess, for the canines. They got canines out there, which is pretty cool. And so the group that organized this volunteer search is called Search and Rescue, SATX. And they have a Facebook page. They have a private group. So I thought that was really dope. We're going to take a look at some of this video footage before we get into the other stories. And thank you, Kara. Appreciate the super chat. And thank you, Donna and Jess, for being a new member. Gracias. Kara says, hope you're having a great night. I'm good. Doing pretty good. Back again. If you guys missed the earlier stream, definitely go and check that out. I reintroduced a story, an old story about a missing girl from Connecticut. Thank you, Sister Sherry, for the super chat. Thanks for covering Lina to the hardcore. Thank you.
Yeah, can we move down a little bit further, guys?
Carly says no EquiSearch. Texas EquiSearch, I know they have to be requested. I'm not sure what the deal is. I think it also has to be that they have to have like a specific area. I don't know if there's even a specific area for this. And I don't know if they've been requested. But yeah, good question.
Further down, just so we can try to.
I got all this tape and gloves and bags and evidence bags and all that in my backpack.
Okay, hopefully we're looking, like I said, we're looking for a lost child.
Maybe dehydrated. It hasn't been cold, so. Yeah, I gave out my number, but I have everybody's number in my bag.
Okay, did you tell them?
I did tell them.
Thank you, Spaniard, for the super chat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you are joining us live on Facebook right now, I'm Joe Galley. We are in the medical center area, and you can see there are dozens of volunteers right now that are lining up at this moment to walk through a
Amazing. Nice to see, right?
wooded area. We're about a mile from the apartment where Lina Khil went missing, disappeared 9 days ago. And this story has really captured the hearts of so many people in the San Antonio area. And so this volunteer group has set up a search that's happening right now, and you can see how far they're trying to span out. They want to cover as much ground as humanly possible. And you may notice that I'm holding something in my hand here. In this bag is one of Lina Khil's dresses. The family was nice enough to lend it to us because we have a canine unit that is specialized in searching not only
I feel like I don't think they're taking open volunteers though. Like I feel like this is obviously a specific search group, but I don't think it's like really open to the public.
For people who have deceased, but also for a lot
Because I think if it was, I mean, I could be wrong. I think if it was, I think there'd be a lot more people.
of people that has had success in this area in the past. So we gave the dog this, and the dog's actually already taken off through the grass, and so the dog's way ahead of us. But that dog is very specialized 5-year-old Belgian Malinois, and it's going really deep into this wooded area here in the medical center off of Floyd Curl near Hamilton Wolf. If you know where that area is, you know that there's a lot of wooded area here. This is an area right on the outside of the periphery where the San Antonio Police Department is actually searching. So this is just a group of volunteers that's going even further right now to try to get as much searching as we can. And as you could see in this area, if you're not familiar with this part of San Antonio, you could see how much grass and how tall it is. And this is the groups of volunteers here that are going to be going through here meticulously through this tall grass. And I'm going to just be quiet for just a moment now. So
Shit, I have to have a machete in my hand. You guys know me. When I'm out there, man, when I was doing my thing, I got to have a machete in one hand just in case, bat in the other.
my camera guy can get some of the natural sounds of what's happening around us.
I don't know if there's really wildlife here.
So we can use that for our story
Kind of low grass. The places I've been, it's like a lot of thick brush.
later. So give me one moment.
Is it weird that when I first saw this, I mean, I know it's serious, but I don't know if I should say it. I was thinking, is this Molly for a second? Like I was like, is that Molly over there? Because sometimes she's all over the place traveling and things. Like, is that Molly from the back? Too cold for snakes. Yeah, bro, I ain't on that cut.
This is a meticulous process as we make our way through this brush here, and they're going to be checking everything.
She's too quiet. That's not her.
Usually, if you look behind you, they're inspecting a barrel that was discarded in this area. That's one of the many things that they're looking for, is any possible place where you could hide a small child. Lina Khil, 3 years old. Very small. Last seen in a red and green dress. And so hopefully the red would...
Oh, she's sick too? I mean, a lot of people getting sick. You guys be careful out there. A lot of people, friends that I'm talking to, people on Discord, everybody's telling me they're getting sick. That stuff is spreading around.
Stick out if she was still in that dress. As I mentioned, it's been 9 days, but I talked to the woman who has Bach, which is the Belgian Malinois. And she tells me that dog has been successful in finding people who had been missing for more than 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's good.
And so the level of difficulty here, I mean, honestly, we're in probably one of the easier areas to search. As you can see, we got this gentleman here looking into this tree. There are some very thick wooded areas that people are slowly making their way through. And this is something where you need to be incredibly meticulous in looking exactly in every single spot that you possibly can, because you want to make sure you can completely grid off this area and say that there's no sign and no evidence in these spots. As I mentioned, the dog's already run through this area, and we've got probably around 30 folks, many of which have volunteered in other searches for other missing people. The Baby James case, you may remember, Andrew McDonald, among other cases that happened throughout the state of Texas. So these are, all these people are volunteers. Many of them are experienced. Many of them are former law enforcement. But at the end of the day, they're just boots on the ground looking for any sign of Lina. And, you can't leave any stone unturned. Thankfully, this is winter here in South Texas. This would be actually a little bit dangerous in the summer with the potential of having rattlesnakes.
Bruh, that's what I'm saying. Somebody said in the chat too, kudos, you were right about that. I don't care what time of season. I gotta have my machete. I actually want to get another one. And I guess the bat, I don't know what the bat's gonna do, but whatever, man. Thank you, Lisa, for the super chat. And Rebel says really don't find people when they do searches. I don't know. I wonder what the statistics are, if there's any statistics on that. And thank you guys for the membership. Thank you, Jasmine, and thank you, Teresa. Appreciate that. Love it. Appreciate it.
And other wildlife in the area. But temperatures have been cold, but not freezing.
I'm not taking chance to anything. These animals now are mutating. They got all kinds of chemicals they're dumping out and all these exotic things people are just dumping out in the woods. Nope.
Potentially survivable.
Nope. Mm-mm.
And you'll notice I'm being quiet at certain points just so my cameraman can get some of the natural sounds of what's happening.
Well, yeah, 60 is like cool for me. 65 is cool for me.
Also with us today, not only do we have the dog, they also have two mediums that are here as well. And I know a lot of people could probably be skeptical about that, but according to the volunteers that run this, or the people who run this volunteer organization, those can actually be incredibly successful in helping find people. They say they were successful in helping lead to the discovery of Andreen McDonald.
Really? Andreen McDonald. They have mediums out there. I'm a skeptic myself. I try to be respectful, but I'm a skeptic myself. And I've spoken to people that do that kind of stuff that are just like, they won't even mess with it. Like, nah, I'm good. Please tell me often. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Among other cases as well. So, but at this point, it kind of just shows how much people are willing to try anything to try to find this little girl.
And I wonder, okay, so the mediums are out there, but I wonder how exactly are they doing this? Like, are they just getting like a sense of the area? Are they touching her clothes? Are they getting in tune? And like, I wonder what the process is for that, like, or do they just know where to go? Or I don't know.
And so we're actually pretty significantly far ahead compared to some of the people that are going through that heavily wooded area. It's much more difficult to go through, but they have to go through it.
And the medium thing has a big following, yo. I was surprised. I used to sometimes joke and stuff. I'm a skeptic, but there's a huge following. There's a lot of people. I had to stop like joking about it. I was like, damn, people are unsubscribing. Like, damn, people are rough. They got a big following, man.
They're looking for any article of clothing, anything that looks suspicious at all. If they do, they kind of raise their hand, they shout, and if there's anything of note, anything that they want to have the San Antonio Police Department look at, we're going to call that sergeant.
I'm open to talking to one, like privately. I want to test them out. I want to say, what can you figure out? What do you know? Or what can you sense? Like, tell me about my life. I would do it just to see.
Running this case and get them here as quickly as possible to either verify if it is evidence that needs to, be a part of the case or if it's not. They are going to be out here basically until they get too tired to continue to walk. And a lot of that is actually gauged on how much energy the dog has, because the dog's kind of the most key element in this search area. So that's what we're dealing with here. Thank you so much for joining us live. I've got to prepare for a few live reports over on our stations, over at Fox San Antonio and News 4 San Antonio. We'll have updates for you online at foxsanantonio.com and news4sa.com as well throughout the day. And let's pray that we find little Lina. Thank you so much. And if you're still watching with us, we're going to be taking down the live stream in just a few moments, just so you know. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, full reports are going to be coming up. They can watch on air and online at news4sa.com and foxsanantonio.com.
Well, I think it's a great thing, man. And I think it's cool that we can get like a visual and see this. San Antonio, or News for San Antonio, has kind of been the people really covering it back to back and providing on the ground footage and stuff like that. There's another video I have to show you guys as well from San Antonio that I think the sheriff was out there and they spoke to the sheriff. He was on a dog. So we're going to watch that too. But that's the Belgian Malinos, that's how you say it, named Bach. He's out there. And they said he found a previous missing person. There was an elderly gentleman who was missing for 2 weeks, and we had floods and rains, and he was able to pick up his track. There's no telling, but it's not going to hurt to try. So let me show you the other video. What is this? Is this a homeless encampment or something? Or what are they?
I did see one person probably about 5 minutes ago before Johnny came to meet with you here that was headed towards Babcock there.
No, that was weird. They were just here. Wow. Hey. All right.
True, Jasmine. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. I think it looks like they encountered some encampment here. I don't know how many of these I've encountered on my own trips. I got the boys out there. Wild's backyard. Oh my God. I don't even know if they have any. Somebody says I'm lost. Why are they at this field? What makes them think she is there? I don't. It seems like just a random search. That's what it seems like to me. If this was me, they would have been screaming at me in the live. Put on gloves, iCkEdMeL. Yeah, wear gloves.
No. That's crazy.
Oh, look, there you go. What, do you found a knife? Or something?
Well, y'all need something?
Yeah, I'd love to talk to you for a minute
Absolutely.
while we have you there.
Sure.
So we may or may not be streaming on Facebook yet or not. I know they're trying to get things going for us here. So let's do some not so standard introductions. I'm Joe Galley, once again with News 4 San Antonio and Fox San Antonio. Joining me right now is Sheriff Javier Salazar, who's on top of his steed.
Yes,
What's your horse's name?
His name's Jesse.
Jesse, I never knew that. Hi, Jesse. Oh, you're very sweet, aren't you? So, Sheriff Salazar, tell me what you guys are doing out here today.
We're just out here supporting the mission. SAPD's out, with the FBI. They've been out here doing the search for the last couple of
I thought I was awkward.
days, and I think this is our third day of being out here, just on horseback, trying to see what we can find, to see if there's anything we can do to help. We're planning on being out here at least another 2 days on horseback. Thankfully, at this point, knock on wood, this is kind of a relatively slow part of the year for us, and so we're able to lend support.
Tell me what you guys are looking out for at this point.
At this point, being that there's not very many leads to go on to speak of right now, just going off of what the SAPD's saying at this point, we're looking for just anything, anybody that may have seen something a couple days ago. Our hope was that we're trying to make contact with somebody here in this encampment, in hopes that somebody may have seen or heard something that they may be able to share with us at this point.
Have you seen a lot of encampments like that? I used to live in this neighborhood. I had no idea that this was even back here.
I didn't know this was back here either.
I'm telling you, on all the little trips that I've been through here in South Florida, almost every time I found some sort of encampment. You'd be surprised what's going on right behind some shrubbery, like some trees or whatever, like just people living, either homeless or just people living off grid, or for whatever reason, people getting high, whatever. And I saw somebody else mention about taking the homeless person stuff. That's kind of true. I think one time I was with this private investigator and he took the machete, and I kind of thought about it after. Like, they probably need that to survive. They're probably gonna be pissed whoever comes back, and it's gone. It looked like a nice one too. The one we had was really rusted, but this one looked pretty clean, like they were using it.
We've actually been cruising the backwoods, today on horseback, and we've been in some spots that you wouldn't know you're in the middle of an urban area, judging by some of the terrain that we've covered with these horses. But that's the beauty of what these horses do for us, is they get us in and out of areas that typically we wouldn't be able to access by vehicle.
Earlier today, I was with a volunteer search group. They had their own canine unit. They were searching that kind of jogging area that's a little bit south of here. It seems like the whole community is really coming together. It's not just you, but it just seems like almost every concerned parent, if they have time, they're out looking for this little girl.
No, absolutely. We've run into people that have been out just walking ditches on their own. I know that some of the civilian search and rescue groups have been out. I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing that here in San Antonio we can come together like that, and not just law enforcement agencies working together, but civilian groups working with us as well in support of the mission.
So you've got you and two other deputies?
Yes, sir. There's
right
two.
There?
My sergeant and then one of my deputies from the Mounted Patrol Unit.
How much ground can you cover when you're searching on your horseback?
Well, I'll tell you, we can cover a couple miles in a day, and that's exactly what we've been doing. Is we've been covering a lot of ditch areas, a lot of ravines, a lot of greenways, green belts, county parks, or even city parks that are out here in this area that have got some areas that are you can't really access it by patrol car, and you can't really see even from helicopter because of the carriage, the overhead of the trees. We're able to get in and maneuver through just like we did here.
It seems like the obvious question, but I have to ask, you haven't found anything quite yet.
We have not. Despite our best efforts, we're out here working, trying to find something, and at this point, we haven't found much that would help us in the overall case. But anything we do find, we're going to share it with the SAPD and let them know.
As a member of law enforcement, can you just talk about how frustrating it must be to be already at day 9 and looking for any sign of this little girl?
Sure. We've handled cases like this before. A lot of this is pretty reminiscent of the Andrea McDonald case, where again we had people from the civilian sector, law enforcement agencies all working together, and so while the Andrea McDonald case took us a bit longer than what we wanted, we were able to get her and at least get some sort of closure for the family, and that's what we're hoping for here. Is let's see if we can find. Obviously we're hoping to find this little girl alive, but we're also not ruling out other possibilities as we continue to assist the SAP.
I want something like that, an extendable baton. That sounds good.
With what they're doing.
Sounds dope.
All right, anything else you'd like to share with me?
No, sir. We're good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching us on our live stream right now, I'm Joe Gallo with News 4 San Antonio and Fox San Antonio. That was Sheriff Javier Salazar on his horse and with his mounted patrol unit as they continue to look for little Lina. Once again, if you have any information, there's a $150,000 reward. Call the San Antonio Police Department with any tips that you might have. At this point, I'm going to turn the microphone off so that we can get some shots that we'll have for our full story that you'll see tonight on Fox San Antonio and at News 4. So thank you so much for joining us.
Want to head back out that way?
And they're out there searching. Oh, it takes. Yeah, that's something I started thinking about more. Somebody pointed that out to me on one of the ventures that I've gone. No, I haven't covered the McDonald case, Katie. Somebody warned me about that. Like, you need to wear a hat, long pants. Oh, shit. Was he about to fall? Oh. Oh, no. I think it's just the camera. Yeah, they were telling me, like, long pants, wear a hat, a long sleeve, then somebody to check you after.
Least resistance. As we continue to move to try to get some more better vantage points to get some more shots for our full story that you'll see tonight, I'll continue to talk right now. We just had an interview with Sheriff Javier Salazar, who's been out with his mounted patrol team for the past few days, searching in a lot of green areas and a lot of areas that are currently under development. We just left a homeless encampment, which they just searched, and now they're headed back to an area where there's some new homes that are being built, and this is all brand new construction that's happening in this area. I used to live in this neighborhood, and this was all trees and greenery I feel like just a few months ago. But it's an exhaustive search. We are actually probably, I would say, well over a mile and a half from that apartment complex. But at this point, it's about leaving no stone unturned when we're looking for little Lina. And I'll step out of the way so that my photographer can get some shots. Nicholas is working with me today.
So that's interesting. Pointing out, I guess, all this construction and homes that are being built there. I'll be checking all that stuff too.
And so the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is working to do everything they can to try to give some support to the San Antonio Police Department. Obviously, it's a lot of ground to cover. If we're going to leave no stone unturned, there's a lot of stones that need to be turned then. And then so you have these officers or these deputies and the sheriff doing what they're doing. And then you also have volunteer search and rescue teams that I was with earlier today. And if you follow me on social media or News 4 or Fox, you've seen those posts from earlier today. So there's just so many people that are out, whether they're members of law enforcement or not.
I've always been iffy about horses, man. I don't know. Petting them or whatever. I feel like they're just going to bite me. They got big teeth. Or they're going to kick me.
All right,
or
ladies and
whatever.
gentlemen, at this point, I think we're going to end our Facebook Live just so we can kind of have some more time to get our stuff together for our newscast once again. Full story tonight.
Okay. So that was kind of the Lina update. I think they're going to be talking about it later tonight. Now, this other story, I got two other stories, I think, to bring side stories. Lauren Smith Fields, 23 years old. This woman's out of it's Connecticut, but I forgot the city already. Bridgeport, Connecticut. And this woman met with a guy off of Bumblebee. It's weird because I feel like there's just so little information being put out. There's also a lot of things online with, people are bringing up race, and of course, like with every other story, they're bringing up Gabby Potato, and but to me, from the search that I've did today, the brief search, there's not a lot of talk about this. There's a lot of missing pieces and details to the story. I think it may develop, and so let me just read you this article, and then we'll watch the family and the news clip that comes with this. A Bridgeport family says they're not getting the answers they want from police after 23-year-old daughter was found dead inside her apartment. Lauren Smith Fields was found unresponsive in her Plymouth Street apartment on December 12th and later died. Smith Fields' family says their daughter was a track star at Stamford High School who was currently enrolled in Norwalk Community College for cosmetology. They say the hardworking young woman had her own side business to fund her education. The medical examiner has not released the cause of death, and investigators are not commenting. Without a doubt, we know that my daughter was not a drug user, which we're going to listen to, and I had a second autopsy myself paid out of pocket because we felt so uncomfortable the way it was handled. Family says that Smith Fields met an older white man on Bumble, and he was actually the one that alerted the police and called them about her and said, hey, she's dead or dying. Lakeem Jeter, her brother, says he asked authorities about the man, but was told he was a nice guy with no need to be investigated. Smithfield's father says the only contact they've had with police is a very insensitive, condescending, and arrogant detective. Councilwoman Maria says police owe Smithfield's mom an apology. She sent a well-written email. It was lengthy, it was extensive, it was very detailed, and I was shocked when she told me yesterday that she had not received a response. The city of Bridgeport issued a statement about the investigation saying the Bridgeport Police Department takes these concerns very seriously. The command staff of the Detective Bureau is reviewing the handling of this case to ensure the best practices were and are being followed. It is imperative to note that the death of Lauren Smith Fields remains an ongoing investigation. Our department extends its deepest condolences to the family of Lauren. So I'm going to play the clip. They haven't released information about the guy. I saw all kinds of different comments on Facebook. Some people are saying that this guy has family and he doesn't want them to know what he was doing, which makes me wonder. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Let me just play the clip and you guys can see and decide from there.
I miss my baby.
The mother of 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields of Bridgeport says her family's world came crashing down 10 days ago when her daughter was found dead inside her apartment on Plymouth Street under what the family describes as mysterious circumstances. The medical examiner has not yet released the cause.
That's true. MCAT says not just a dating app, you can meet new friends. And I forgot, wasn't it with Gabby? I think that's how she met her friend or something like that. I thought, or they met on the friend part. I didn't even know before that, I didn't know they had an app just to meet friends. I was like, damn, this is the new age, I guess, But obviously it was, I guess, for a date or something, or I don't know.
Inside her apartment on Plymouth Street under what the family describes as mysterious circumstances. The medical examiner has not yet released the cause of death, and investigators aren't commenting.
Without a doubt, we know that my daughter was not a drug user, and I had a second autopsy myself. We paid out of pocket because we felt so uncomfortable with the way it was handled.
It's Lauren. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Lauren was a familiar face to YouTube audiences. Her family says she had been a track star at Stanford High School and was now studying physical therapy at Norwalk Community College. A sweet child, they say, who had blossomed into a beautiful young woman who had the whole world at her feet. They say Lauren had met, quote, an older white man on the dating app Bumble, and it was he who alerted police to Lauren's death. The family says they are not satisfied with answers they got from an investigator.
I asked him about the guy. He just made it seem like the guy was a nice guy. It was nothing to investigate.
The only contact that we have had was from a very insensitive, condescending, and arrogant detective.
Lauren's dad reading a scathing statement saying police failed to extend the most basic courtesies and told his family to stop calling. Councilwoman Maria Pereira says police owe Lauren's mom an apology.
She sent a really well-written email, and I was shocked when just yesterday she told me she had not even received a response.
A mom who's left to plan her daughter's funeral just days before Christmas says she's struggling to find a path forward.
Life is not the same. I don't know who I'm going to be after this.
In Bridgeport, Frank Recchia, News 12, Connecticut.
Your heart just goes out to that family. The city of Bridgeport issuing this statement about the investigation. The Bridgeport Police Department takes these concerns very seriously. The command staff of the Detective Bureau is reviewing the handling of this case to ensure that best practices are being followed. It is imperative to note that the death of Lauren Smith Fields remains an ongoing investigation. Our department extends its
So that was that article, which I thought was good, and it has the family on there. Let me show this the full screen. So Lauren Smith Fields was found unresponsive in a Bridgeport apartment December 12th. She met an older white man on the dating app Bumble. The man, who has not been named, reportedly contacted police about Smithfield's death. He was not detained for questioning. So the family, feels that there's not enough being done, and that the detective is being nasty, dismissive, and condescending. And supposedly the autopsy is done, but it hasn't been released. I don't know why. And so that's why the father went and got another independent one done. Okay. So here's the part two, just to throw this, just social media. To me, the story so far, it hasn't gained traction. It's messed up, but there's just not enough to know what really happened. I'm wondering. And the family, for sure, they deserve answers. Where did I go? Okay, some reactions on social media have noted that white privilege is the reason why police so far don't consider this mysterious white male a suspect. One Instagram user wrote, "The old white man does not want his family to know whatever he was doing with this young black woman. He called somebody he knew on the force, and they're covering it up. Allegedly, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Ted Bundy got away with his crimes for so long because he was charming, and you know it." What is that? YouTube privilege? What's YT privilege? Is that another one they made? Oh, white. Oh my God, the way these kids type, man. You don't know what they're saying anymore. Oh, white. Okay. A third noted, we watched the world search for that white girl and her killer, but yet nothing for this young lady. And I remember this happened a lot of times once the Gabby Petito story happened and was happening. Many times people in media and news, people that don't even cover or talk about these kind of topics came in and they were mentioning Gabby. And I don't know, man. That's a whole nother conversation, I guess, kind of. I mean, it kind of takes us there, but I just feel like Gabby's story just helped out so many people of all different colors and races. And every story is just not going to be like that. I feel and agree that, everybody should get the same attention or due diligence by the law enforcement. Supposedly this law enforcement, I don't know. I read somewhere they might have like a history of racism or something. I don't know. I'd have to check it out further. But her story really helped out a lot of people. They found so many missing people, so many bodies. I feel like a lot of people now are kind of tuning in to missing persons too because of that, so but yeah, you can't force stories, you can't force media. Every story is not a Chris Watts story, every whatever, but there is stories out there too at the same point that are crazy as hell, and yeah, they don't get attention for, I don't know, for whatever reason, so. And then we spoke about that she was a track star at community college. For me, there's just so little information that I kind of I reserve a lot of my thoughts. I try to, because you just don't know what to think, right? This is one page that was listed, I think, by The Sun. This is one of her YouTube pages, Layla Smith. I don't know if she has other ones, but she has some videos here about hair and then some sort of story. She has Instagram as well, and you can see like posts on Instagram, pictures. I really wonder who this guy is, like why they haven't released his identity, and what's his situation. Is this guy like, maybe he doesn't want to be known? Is he this guy like married or something, or I don't know. And what happened? My only thing is that like he did call police. It seems like it didn't seem like he was trying to hide from it. But so if you want to look further, you can look into her social media. Pretty woman, young, that just like that. We talk about the dating apps all the time. So all right, I wanted to bring her up. I feel like that story is something that we might follow back on. Like it's just there's too many missing pieces. Let's see what the autopsy says. Maybe the guy's name is released. Maybe we'll find out more of what actually happened before really coming to any kind of conclusion. But I do totally feel, especially if the police are talking like that to the family, they need to take it seriously. They need to investigate it. Okay, so this story, oh my God, dude. I don't know what's going on. This was shared on Discord. And it says, mother charged with murder, human trafficking after a 5-year-old daughter found dead. There's a press conference as well that we're going to watch. First day of pre-K, 8/16/2021. I don't know, man. These people just. So this is Phoenix City, Alabama, I believe. Disturbing new details surfacing in the arrest of a Georgia mother charged with 3 counts of felony murder and human trafficking connection with the asphyxiation, murder, and sexual assault of her 5-year-old daughter, Kamarie Holland. Christy Sipley, who also goes by Christy Hoskins, was arrested for felony murder on Tuesday, December 28th. News 3 learned the woman is charged with 3 counts of felony murder and the kidnapping. All this horrible that you see there, okay, of Holland. Sippel is also charged with first-degree human trafficking. The additional charges came out Wednesday morning during Sippel's initial court hearing in front of Russell County District Judge Walter Gray. The judge set a no bond in this case. Sipley reported her daughter missing to Columbus police on the morning of December 13. The little girl's body was found later that day in a vacant home on 15th Avenue in the Phoenix City. Williams once lived in that house, which is next to West End Cemetery. So Williams apparently is this guy I think that she used to date. Jeremy Williams was arrested 2 weeks ago and charged with capital murder in Holland's death. It was a capital charge because Holland was a child under 14 years old. At a news conference Wednesday, Sheriff Heath Taylor said Williams will face 3 additional death penalty charges. All right. And they've issued a gag order on this case. Taylor said Sipley Williams had a prior relationship but did not describe the nature of the relationship. Taylor also said that the girl had been assaulted, was not initially charged with a sex crime. It's just horrible. I don't know where they come up with these people. Let's listen to the press conference because I think a lot of this stuff is quotes from the conference, so we can just listen to it directly.
Asked the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force to help us locate her. They were gracious enough to do that and assist us with this case, and they were able to pick her up. She was taken to a judge in Columbus where she signed her waiver of extradition to come back and answer the charges in Alabama. She was brought back to the sheriff's office by our investigators, and she was placed in the jail. She has been charged with murder during the course of kidnapping, murder during the course of rape, murder during the course of sodomy, and human trafficking. She was sent to the court this morning at 9 o'clock. She saw Judge Gray, and he set no bonds on all of her charges. So she will be held at this time in the Russell County Jail under no bond on those 4 charges. We expect that we will also have charges coming for Mr. Williams. We expect in the next couple of days he will be charged with capital murder during the course of kidnapping, capital murder during the course of rape, capital murder during the course of sodomy, production of child pornography.
You can only imagine like all the horrible shit that these people were doing. Right now we're talking about Kamarie, I believe Kamarie Williams. That's her name? Kamarie Holland, not Williams, Holland. Jerry Williams is the guy that the mother had some sort of relationship with, and the mother's name is, she goes by 2 aliases, I guess, but Sipley. This is a picture of her on People. Looking like the devil, Satan's child over here. Looking like hell. Just disgusting.
Currently, Mr. Williams is being held in the Russell County Jail under a no bond for capital murder of a person less than 14. So these charges that we anticipate coming in the next few days on him will be an addition to what he is currently in the facility. I hope you understand that this conference is limited. We can't get into what we would normally get into. So I appreciate your understanding of that and respecting the judge's orders so that we can give these defendants a fair trial. I want to thank Columbus.
Sarah here says that the father allowed their estranged mother to take her, and within 24 hours she's dead. Wow. Oh man, that's scary.
PD. I want to thank the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office and the Federal Marshals Fugitive Task Force for assisting us in this case. There's been a lot of cooperation between my office and Columbus Police Department especially. with this case with Kamarie, and this case has really affected a lot of the officers in both departments. And so I want to thank them for the work that they've done and let the community know that we're doing everything we can to bring justice for this little girl. Behind me is Assistant Chief District Attorney Rick Chancey with the Russell County DA's office, and then Assistant Chief Fitzpatrick and Chief Blackman of the Columbus Police Department. I will give any of them an opportunity to make some statements. Just understand that it won't be.
Bro, as I'm reading this stuff, it's just so crazy. Let me show you this. Or maybe, yeah, I'm gonna let this play, but there's a history with these people that's just nuts. So we're gonna check that out as well after this.
Details of the case. Chief.
Good morning. As Sheriff Taylor has previously mentioned, our departments are working very closely together regarding this case. And as we continue to develop information and evidence, we'll continue to be able to go forward with the case. At this time, there's very limited information that I will be able to share, as was previously stated. But I do want to say that if there is anyone who has any information regarding this case, to please contact the Columbus Police Department at 706-653-3400. If you want to remain anonymous, you can contact us at 706-653-3188. So again, we're working very closely with Russell County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Taylor as we work to bring this case to a successful result. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm going to respect the judge's order today and keep my statements just to the public record and the public proceedings. The sheriff's already read to you the charges that have been filed already and those that the sheriff's office expects to bring here in the next few days. Just from a process standpoint, you could expect that Ms. Sipple will either be retaining an attorney or being appointed an attorney. And at some point in the near future, I would expect both of these to ask for a preliminary hearing, at which time we will be able and be ready to present the evidence that we have so far as to show what the probable cause is that resulted in these arrests. So from a procedural standpoint, that will be the next major thing I think that will happen in this case is a preliminary hearing. I don't have a date yet on either one. It'll be at the court schedule. From the preliminary hearing, these cases will be then sent to the Russell County Grand Jury, and all of the evidence that has been gathered thus far and any further evidence that comes in will be presented at that grand jury, from which indictments I expect will be issued and these cases will proceed to trial. I have made some copies today of the warrants that were filed, and I'll pass those out if you want copies of those. We are limited to only giving you what's public record. These are still active investigations and ongoing investigations. So don't know yet what other, if any, charges may be filed in this, but the cases are not officially closed. They are still under investigation, and we'll continue to receive information from Columbus and the Sheriff's Department as to whether to proceed on any other matters when we get to
the custody thing. I haven't been able to verify yet. I was trying to find a little bit more information. Sarah said that. I'll see if I can find some more.
Grand jury. So both, I would expect Mr. Williams will need to come in for another 72-hour hearing once he's arrested on these other warrants, and that would probably be sometime next week. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Ms. Sipple, I think, has been charged with all that.
Yeah, no, I think she's right. Yeah. Yeah. And given the history, which you're going to get into, I really don't even know how the hell. I guess you as a as a woman, it seems like you just do whatever to these kids. You just keep getting the kids back or whatever. But it looks like so the mother is Christy Sipley, and this guy Jeremy Williams is some guy that she knew. Whether she gave the kid away purposely or really the kid was taken, I don't know. But Kamarie's father, Corey Holland, okay, he did release a statement Tuesday night. And I think I read this, but he said, the amount of pain Christy has caused by ripping Kamarie out of our lives will never cease. I can't even imagine how, as being on that side of the family. We're glad to see that she has been arrested. We're one step closer to justice for Kamarie. It's our hope that justice is served. Christy should receive whatever maximum penalty she can get. She's a monster. A real mother protects and would die for her children. Christy's a monster. My family and I will continue to wrestle with the loss of losing our angel Kamarie. We will ask that you continue to make your news about her and the justice she deserves. Oof.
She is currently being charged with, and she made her appearance, as Sheriff Taylor said this morning. She has another outstanding warrant you may see come through, and that may be done via Zoom. I don't know if the court will bring her up again, but there's another warrant that was served this morning, I believe, on another matter, basically a failure to appear type thing. So thus the reason for no bond. Judge Gray did issue a gag order in this case. It'll, I think, verbatim state exactly what Judge Johnson's gag order said, so we're going to have to keep our comments rather limited today. But again, I want to thank the Sheriff's Department and all the investigators behind you and those who are off today. They've been doing an amazing amount of work.
And I got the images too. I'm going to pull them up for you guys so we can take a look at this guy. We showed the mother, but we'll show this guy, Williams, as well, Jeremy.
Past couple of weeks, and I know they're tired and exhausted. This is a case that tugs at everybody's heartstrings. To go to that funeral the other day, it just breaks your heart to know that Kamarie is no longer with us. And as a public service, please, parents, take care of your kids. Watch your kids. Be careful who your kids are around. Shouldn't have to state that, but it never hurts to remind everybody this is a bad world, and just let's take care of our kids. And I appreciate the Sheriff's Office working so hard to bring this to a conclusion. Thank you, Sheriff.
Good morning. I'll just reiterate what has already been said, and just to emphasize about your children. Please, parents, caregivers, everyone, please know something about who you are allowing your children to be around. I've worked in special victims and in sex crimes, and I can tell you from what the sheriff has told you and what Chief Blackman has said and from what the DA has said, this case has really taken a toll on a lot of the investigators. It's very long hours, and these men and women of the Sheriff's Department of Russell County, men and women of the Columbus Police Department, and the men and women in law enforcement as a whole, this has really struck a nerve with us because we care about our kids, we care about our community. So the only thing I have to say is that please monitor where your kids are and who they're around. Thank you.
Again, I thank everybody for coming. I would typically answer questions at this time, but we were going to forego that, and anything that we have coming up, we will keep you abreast on as far as any court dates and things of that matter that is of public record. So thank you for coming, and be safe.
Okay, so let's get to some of the information that I was able to pull up. Jackie, thank you so much for the members chat. It says I'm so late, just saying hi and gonna rewind. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being a member. 6 months. Man. All right, let me show you the pictures first. Let's do that, and then we'll get into this article. And I found some other clips, I think, that looks kind of interesting. But this is the guy right here. All right, and I believe his name is Jeremy Williams. I think that's what I wrote down somewhere. I think this is the bio father. He was fighting a custody battle. Damn, man, that's crazy. It's crazy, man. That is crazy. So I'm going to read this article and then we'll get into the other clips. I think the father speaks out. And I'll skip past the things we already talked about. We can skip past towards... Okay. Columbus police notified authorities that Williams could be in Phoenix City area. This is Alabama, by the way, for people that are wondering. Lawmen located Williams and a relative at the Bamboo Motel in Oblique Road in Phoenix City, the sheriff said. The hotel workers told authorities they had been there for about 30 minutes prior to the arrival of investigators. Additionally, Taylor said investigators learned of a previous Phoenix City address for Williams. They went to the address, which was a vacant house, and that's where they found Kamarie's body. That's how they found out about her. Investigators said Kamarie had been, all that stuff. Williams, according to the sheriff, was charged with child abuse, Phoenix City in 2009, and acquitted by a jury in 2012. Amazing jury. I don't know what happened. I don't know what the details were, but amazing that they put this guy out. Seems like these people can get out all the time. There's no serious charges. They're out in a year or two, if that, or just dismissed and you walk out. Not a big deal, right? I guess. Say that facetiously. He was charged with abuse of a child in Columbus. Taylor said that the position of that case wasn't immediately known. Additionally, Taylor said authorities have information that Williams was the suspect in the death of a 1-year-old. Like, you can't make this stuff up. But was never charged with that crime because of lack of evidence. We're talking about the guy here, right? The person you choose to be with or date or leave your kids around. And I still don't know. We don't know what happened that day. The mother, I'll scroll up to the beginning of this article when I'm done reading this, but the mother wakes up, supposedly calls police. The door was slightly ajar and she's missing Kamarie. But the mother too is problematic. And so Sipley is set to go to trial in February on a 2018 charge of a chemical endangerment of a child. According to court records in that case, she exposed her unborn child, not Kamarie, to the green while she was pregnant. I guess maybe she tested positive. According to Kamarie's obituary, she is survived by her parents, 3 sisters, and 4 brothers. She was a preschooler that desired to be a princess when she grew up, the obituary reads. The funeral was held last week. We're doing everything we can to bring justice for this little girl. Columbus Police Chief Freddie said the investigation is continuing between his department and the sheriff's office. He asks anyone that has information pertaining to the case to contact Columbus Police. And this is the quotes that we just heard about taking care of your kids. Just, bro, I don't know, bro. What a crazy system, right? I think things are just jacked everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And this guy, I guess, would you consider that privilege, I guess? Right? Because this guy's doing all this kind of horrible stuff and he's just walking right out. Is that privilege too? I don't know that it's just so simple as, how people sometimes want to define something. I think there's just so many different layers to things. So this is an interview. This is the biological father. So let's check this out.
Evan, we have an exclusive interview with the father of little 5-year-old Kamarie Holland, who was found dead earlier this week. Holland's father tells us he's been emotionally drained since the passing of his daughter, and he thanks the community for the outpouring of love and support. Our James Giles has the story.
Say we love you, Kamarie.
Corey Holland says his life is an emotional roller coaster since his daughter, 5-year-old Kamarie Holland, was raped and killed earlier this week in Phoenix City. Police say 37-year-old Jeremy Williams is responsible.
Read what you saw.
They brought him over to Alabama. Because guess where they want? Where we want.
What's that?
You read between the lines.
Williams is being charged with capital murder in Alabama. Per Alabama law, Williams will either face life in prison without parole or the death penalty.
Today, I probably only cried like once or twice, but Monday on up to here, like, I'm so drained, like.
And Holland says that's because not only has he been grieving the death of one child, but he's fighting to gain back custody of his son.
Well, they tried. They tried, but we were rocky. He come home. We beat that.
And according to the father, his 3-year-old, who has the same mother as Kamarie, Christy Hoskins, was taken from him right after his daughter's death. He says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision.
We believe that the mother and the offender did have a relationship, not from a dating perspective, but
back custody of his son.
Well, they tried. They tried, but we were rocky. He come home. We beat that.
And according to the father, his 3-year-old, who has the same mother as Kamarie, Christy Hoskins, was taken from him right after his daughter's death. He says he allowed the children to visit their mother, who was not supposed to have the kids without supervision.
we believe that the mother and the offender did have a relationship, not from a dating perspective, but did know each other.
Holland adds the kid's mother only had the kids less than 24 hours before Kamarie was taken by 37-year-old Williams. Russell County Sheriff.
So yeah, it's like I think it was Sarah was saying she had Kamarie for like a day or less than 24 hours, and then this whole thing happens. Jacked up, man, jacked up.
Sheriff Heath Taylor also points out this week, Williams is a known drug dealer, but declined to say if drugs were involved in the little girl's abduction. Like many parents, Corey Holland says he always wanted to do what's best for his children. That's why 5 years ago, when he moved from Chicago to Phoenix City, all he had on his mind was creating a better life for his daughter, who would soon be born.
Kamarie was not even born yet, but I moved down here to try to take her away from that upbringing back home. So I appreciate everything that y'all doing. I hope it don't stop here. Like, we strong together.
So I don't know what the trafficking charges for, like, about, like, how does that, maybe because she wasn't supposed to have her? Or did she give Kamarie away to this guy? I mean, she claims the guy went and took her. Kamarie, let's see, Christy Hoskins. I'm confused right now. What is going on? How many moms and dads? Hold on a second. So we got hold on. Confused. What's going on here? The mother of a 5-year-old Georgia girl was found. Okay. Let's see. Hold on a second.
We begin with a News Leader 9 exclusive. You're about to hear from the mother of a child found dead in Phoenix City Monday night as the man accused of killing 5-year-old Kamarie Holland sits in jail without bond. We're going more in depth on his potential charges. But first, News Leader 9's Rosalind Giles joins us now in studio with an interview you'll only see on WTVM. Rosalind?
Jason, tonight, a tearful conversation with the mother of the 5-year-old little girl officials say was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and murdered, then left in a vacant house in Phoenix City.
She had a heart. She had a spirit that she's been here before.
The mother of little Kamarie Holland stopped by News Leader 9 to donate toys to the WTVM annual toy drive to talk about her princess and the unbelievable hurt and pain she's having to endure as she tries to process what happened to her daughter.
I'm Kamarie Holland's mommy, and she wouldn't want nothing in the world but to donate her toys to another little child that was in need because she was a...
So this is before she was arrested, I guess? Yeah, because Christy Marie Sipley, 35, was booked in Russell County Jail on Tuesday in connection with the slaying of her daughter. So it must be more than we know going on here, obviously. Sipley, also known as Christy Hoskins. So this chick went on TV.
Very healthy child.
Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor says Kamarie was kidnapped from her mother's home in Columbus and found in the suspect's vacant home on 15th Avenue in Phoenix City. Sheriff Taylor also says
the manner of death at this time looks to be asphyxiation. It did appear from the scene that there was some sexual abuse.
a mother in tears trying to come to grips with her daughter's brutal death.
I'm coping. I'm making it.
Hoskins says Kamarie's father, Corey Holland, had custody of the child and they lived in Phoenix City. Kamarie was at her mother's house when she went missing, something Hoskins says she had nothing to do with.
I'm a mommy and I did not have...
Oh, please. The bullshit. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so tired of hearing about this crap with these people, yo.
Nothing to do with this. She was my life. I lived for her daily.
Oh my God. You got to study these people too, these little deceiving
Trying to
people,
come
man.
to grips with her daughter's brutal death.
I'm coping. I'm making it.
Hoskins says Kamarie's father, Corey Holland, had custody of the child and they lived in Phoenix City. Kamarie was at her mother's house when she went missing, something Hoskins says she had nothing to do with.
I'm a mommy and I did not have nothing to do with this. She was my life. I lived for her daily. She was my only girl. I had 3 boys at her.
Hoskins says she hopes her daughter isn't remembered by the way she died, but by her sweet, giving spirit.
We were at the gas station one time and we seen a family out there and one of the little girls didn't have shoes on. And she said, Mommy, we can help them, Mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home.
Oh, you're so good. You're so great. You're amazing.
And the suspect in the kidnapping and murder of 5-year-old Kamarie Holland, 37-year-old Jeremy Williams, is charged with capital murder. Jason, a heart-wrenching story indeed for the entire.
Oh, they have a full interview. We need to check that out too.
I'm Kamarie Holland's mommy, and she wouldn't want nothing in the world but to donate her toys to another little child that was in need because she was a very healthy child.
Oh, she looked like such a sweet little girl.
She was a very sweet child. She was beautiful. Sweet soul.
So sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And this is, I seen this and I touched my heart, so I stopped. That's what she was, Mommy. Let's help that, Mommy. She's like that. She's like that. She we were at the gas station one time and we seen a family out there and one of the little girls didn't have shoes on and she said, Mommy, we can help them, Mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home, Mommy. Let's give them my shoes, Mommy. And of course we gave them her shoes because she's that caring. She had a heart. She had a spirit that she's been here before, and she was a blessing. She is a blessing.
Well, how are you coping?
I'm coping. I'm making it. The media's making me look like I'm some evil person, but I'm not. I'm a mommy, and I did not have nothing to do with this. She was my life. I lived for her daily. She was my only girl. I had 3 boys at her.
Oh, she your youngest?
She was my, no, I have one more under her. I have my son under her. And it's hard. It's hard. I don't know if I'm coming or I'm going, but I'm doing it for her.
Do you have any support? Do you have people on your side? Someone's helping you?
Ain't nobody on my side. They didn't even tell me about the balloon release today. They haven't even mentioned her funeral or nothing.
I won't tell you either.
So will you get to decide that, or?
I don't think so. I think that's all Dad had custody of her.
Okay.
But you know what? I have my peace with her, and she's here in my heart, and that's all that matters.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I can't even fathom what you might be going through, but please know that our hearts and prayers are with you. And I know just at the station, we cover all kinds of news, but for whatever reason, just because of what happened, it has really hit hard for a lot of people.
And that's all you see over social media is her face. She was so loved. She was so loved.
Now she lived in Phoenix City.
Yes, she lived with Dad in Phoenix City, and she was with me. That Sunday I picked her up, and he prayed on her. I can't really talk about it. There's a gag order, so.
Okay, and we're not going to try to ask you to talk about that. Is her school doing anything?
Right. I'm not sure. She was in school for like literally 3 weeks and then got kicked out because of coronavirus. Somebody tested positive in class. So we decided not to send her back. But she was so smart. She was just learning how to spell her name. She'd see a K somewhere. She's like, Mom, that's Kamarie. She was the best little girl ever.
So I understand she wanted to, I read somewhere.
A princess. She wanted to be a princess. You couldn't tell her nothing.
Brittany, right?
All my makeup ruined, but she wanted to be a princess. She can have it. She can definitely be.
What would you want viewers to know about your daughter?
She was just the sweetest girl in the world. You couldn't.
Man, that reminds me of this other little liar. She was just the sweetest girl in the world. I think I have the clip. I'm going to start saving these people. I've been saying it for a while. I'm going to start saving all these little characters because they need to be studied, and people need to be careful about these people because they try to put on a good game and try to manipulate everybody around. Like they get some sort of high off of thinking that everybody's dumb and nobody sees this stuff and you're just getting away with things. I'm going to keep playing this.
Oh God, you couldn't harm her. She was too sweet. Like, you could not harm that little girl because she's so innocent, so smart. She was fantastic. She was perfect.
Well, my heart aches for you. And please know our prayers are with you. I know Tony gave you her card.
Yes, so, I've dropped off some presents and I still have some more that I will bring because that's what she would want.
That's
definitely
very
what
sweet
she
of
would
you.
want.
And is there anything that you want to say to our viewers about
life's short? Definitely keep your loved ones close. You never know when it's going to be the end. And I'm innocent. I had nothing to do with my daughter's disappearance or murder. I would never. She was my life.
Of course she was. She's your baby girl.
Exactly. Like, whoever could do that is just disturbing. Very sick in the head.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No.
Wow. That whole thing right there could be a whole video. Just this portion of the live stream is a whole video. I might clip it. Incredible.
Okay.
Come on.
It's always crazy to me when you see people like that and just like putting on this show, man. And it's even to go on TV. I mean, we've seen it multiple times before, but I just don't know how somebody could, like, with a straight face or try a straight face to do that, because they feel nothing. They've never felt any kind of remorse. There's no feeling inside.
We don't know 100% of what happened, but we all love that baby. He was just the sweetest little baby.
What about oh yeah, let me play this. It's only a couple seconds long. How about Megan Boswell, right? Shit, I got a list of these people. I need to make an archive and just archive it in the computer and submit it to some scientists they can study, some psychologists. These freaks.
They're saying your boyfriend may have been arrested in connection to this crime. Can you?
He wouldn't do this.
He wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that.
Video taken earlier today of Crystal Jackson being booked into jail. Arrest documents say she lied to investigators for 19 hours.
We all love that baby. He was just the sweetest little baby.
But that story too, Crystal, she the boyfriend or whatever his name, I don't even remember his name. They had a bunch of kids in the house already, and that wasn't even her biological kid, it was her sister's kid. And from what I can remember, this guy or whatever she was talking to or whatever, the guy that was in the house, he gets pissed off because of ketchup packets. The little boy, I don't know, something with the ketchup. He either dropped the ketchup packets or there was a mess or something. So this guy decides to smother the child, kills the child, dumps the child in the dumpster while this woman's at home with the other kids. And this woman covers and lies for him to protect the guy and not the kid. And I think they said that had she spoken up sooner, they might have been able to save that child's life or something like that. Or I don't know, something with the case. But this is another video I did a long time ago. What year is this from? Oh, this is 2020. Feels like forever. Megan Boswell.
Kisses. She has a little baby shark puppet. Oh, she loves to take baths. She's a happy baby. She hardly ever cries. She is. She giggles a lot. And I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. Yeah, my grandma's very supportive. She always is. It was a good day. She had a little pink bow in her hair and a little Puma tracksuit on. It was hot pink.
Just let them talk, yo. These people like this, let them talk.
Well, when they just kind of took off and wouldn't answer anybody, other than look for her, I don't really know. They've all been looking at leads and stuff like that. Yeah, they didn't know I had court today. She's just a very sweet baby. She's got, you know, the little dimples on her face. She's the cutest baby ever when you see her.
You're reunited with her. What will be the first thing that you do?
Just hug her.
Are you feeling hopeful?
I am. She loves those little applesauce pouches. I am. No, not at this moment.
Is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I've probably called the first day.
If your wife can see this, if she can watch these, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to the person or people that have her that you think they should hear from you?
They should just bring her back. They obviously know, like, what's going on, and, like, you know, they need to bring her back home.
Right now, I don't even want to just, like, throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now, and with the kids. If somebody has her and they're not safe, like, I want them back now. If they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. My kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life.
Do you miss her? Are you worried?
Of course I miss her, and, like, I can't tell anything about the ongoing investigation, but I'm sure you all have released an article about the car and stuff like that, so they have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're watching, I just want them to bring her back.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if they're watching?
I just want her back. Yeah, that's my child.
When they usually eat dinner, it was just like, I miss them. Like, I mean, I miss telling them, hey, you got to eat that or you're not going to get your dessert, you know, and just like, you're not going to get your snack after. I miss that. Like, I miss them, you know, cuddle up on their couches. They have like a Minnie Mouse couch and a Sophia couch that they cuddle up on and watch, you know, Bubble Guppies or something. It was, that's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like, wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want.
Like, her favorite food is, like, sweet potatoes. She's really sweet. Favorite song is Baby Shark. Just like that kind of stuff. Her favorite food is sweet potatoes. She's allergic to carrots.
She's allergic to carrots?
She's very smart. Like, even she quit her own sippy cup at 6 months old. Or not a sippy cup, but she quit a bottle, I'm sorry. And went straight to a sippy cup. And, like, I would leave her snacks on the floor, like in the little containers, and she'd open them up herself and, like, get one out at a time. Like, she's just a very smart, very good baby. And I just want her back.
I just want them back.
Lord almighty. Yeah, I was making Boswell back in the day. What a mess. That whole situation was a mess too. But every time I cover some of these stories and you see these actors, I'm going to add this woman to my little compilation too. You just get flashbacks, man, just of these people like putting on an act or something on TV and around all these people, and you think they're fooling people, and for a long time they probably have fooled people. You know, they keep people in their families and everything maybe fooled, maybe not all of them. Truth comes out though eventually. Probably not in the best way, but wow, that's crazy, man. See, that clip of the mother, that was completely unexpected. I was just like, all right, let me do another search while I'm talking with you guys. And I was like, oh, crap, this lady actually spoke. And then I was confused. I was like, but why is she on TV? And I'm like, oh, this was before she got arrested. She's taking toys. and making a plea. That's Megan Boswell. Megan Boswell. She still hasn't, the trial. I have several videos on it. You can look up on my, if you want, after the live stream, I'll put a couple of links you guys can check out if you've never seen that. But yeah, we're still waiting, right? Yeah. Let me see when the trial is up. Wow. September 26, 2022. A long time from now. There was another video. Thought that was kind of good by her. Let's see real quick. Oh my God, it's another one too. Another actor. Kind of. We didn't get to really see her much. Taylor Rose Williams, but I've spoken about her before. I think that's it. Oh, wait, hold on. Sure. Well, let me show you the guys this real quick, just the intro, and then we'll call it. Maybe to tease a little bit. People can check out Megan Boswell if you never heard about it.
The clothing with the prior interview of Miss Boswell, clothing described in that interview was the exact clothing that was found on.
That's the same lady you guys just saw pleading and crying, oh my daughter, and all the bullshit. That's the same lady right there.
What else was found there? There was various child clothing, diapers, toys, that kind of thing that would belong to the child.
Did Ms. Boswell make any culpatory statements with regard to the death of
You say culpatory or?
Super mom. Yeah.
Yes.
That whole video was out somewhere. I don't remember where, but that story was pretty crazy. That story, had that happened like now instead of before, then it probably would have been way bigger. That was a messy story. Everybody was suspicious of everybody, people in the family and everybody else. That was a mess. But I'll post a link to that. I have some playlists for that after if you guys want to check it out in the recommended. But yeah, man, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it. Second live today. I don't want to make it too long so people can rewatch it. I'll put a timestamp after this. Yeah, she's still sitting in jail. Thanks, Steph. I appreciate that. Insanity. Just, yeah, be careful, man, who you leave your kids with. I'm super paranoid about that. I don't even like for people. I've mentioned this before, but like my mother, when I was growing up, she wasn't into sleepovers. There was only like one friend, and they were Jehovah's Witness. I got a letter in the mail from somebody that told me, oh, I remember that story you told me. And literally my friend lived across the street. That's it. Like you could literally look out the window and we could look at each other from across the street. It was like a small street in a little neighborhood. And maybe 3 or 4 times I slept over there. That was it. But my mother was like, always no, always no. And I at the time I was mad, but now I appreciate those things. You just, even with your family, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they're dealing with. You see them once every couple months, maybe, or even once a year, and then you're going to leave your child with somebody you don't even know. Nah, bro. Paranoid, man, paranoid. And you just never know, man. Even you could be the most safest and careful parent, and something still happens. You know what I'm saying? So, somebody just messaged me. I have a bone to pick with you. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Oh Lord, what I do now? but yeah, man, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. I'll timestamp the video. Take care. Please hit like on the way out. I appreciate it. Peace.